Hi, my name is Michelle Hyman, and I proactively protect your property. I'm an estate planning and business planning attorney here to serve you and to proactively protect your assets. If you receive our weekly e-newsletter, you may not have received one in a while. That's because I was sick and in the hospital for 10 days. By God's grace, I'm doing fine. I am well. I thank God every day for life. My experience in the hospital opened my eyes to a flaw in the estate planning process. So here's what I mean. If I were to become incapacitated, I found out that the hospital would have contacted my ex-husband because that is the person they had listed as my healthcare agent. Well, that would have been a problem because that is not the person I want making decisions for me when I cannot make them for myself. So even though my healthcare directive, which I'll explain what that is in a minute, it has been updated with my current estate plan. The hospital did not have that information. So now that I'm well, I must ensure that the right people have access to my healthcare directive and can provide it to the hospital if necessary, and that they can legally use it in any capacity if necessary. So because of this hospital visit experience, I've added a process in my estate planning services to ensure that your healthcare directive remains updated and is delivered to the people who need access to it. If you become incapacitated, you're going to need that. So now I want to tell you about 3 healthcare documents you need to include in your estate plan. Don't wait until you're in the hospital or worse, incapacitated, because at that point it's too late. Decisions about your healthcare are some of the most important you will ever make. So including healthcare documents in your estate plan can ensure your decisions are always your choice. Even if you cannot speak for yourself, I cannot emphasize this enough. Healthcare documents that clearly state your wishes should be included in your estate plan. Okay, let's discuss the 3 documents you need to include in your estate plan. The first one I've mentioned already is the healthcare directive. The second one is a HIPAA authorization. And the third is a living will declaration. Let's take them one at a time. Okay, so the healthcare directive is a document that allows you to name a healthcare agent. This person is an individual who you grant the authority to make certain decisions on your behalf regarding your healthcare. A healthcare agent may also be referred to or called a proxy, a surrogate, a healthcare personal representative, but they're basically a healthcare agent. They have many different definitions in many states. So if your healthcare directive, in your healthcare directive, you can include specific instructions on the healthcare measures you desire if you were unable to make those decisions for yourself. So these are life and death decisions. Make sure your healthcare agent is someone you trust. Work closely with an estate planning lawyer to ensure your healthcare directive provides clear guidelines for your agent to follow. Okay, the second document you need in your estate plan is a HIPAA authorization. So your healthcare agent or your personal representative or surrogate or proxy, whichever state you're in may have different terms, that person will need to access your medical records in order to make educated decisions about your care. So to do this, your agent will need a HIPAA authorization. This will ensure that he or she has access to your medical records from HIPAA-covered healthcare providers. So the HIPAA authorization is signed by you to authorize your healthcare agent that you've designated in the healthcare directive on getting access to your medical records under HIPAA-covered providers. So the third document you need in your estate plan is a living will declaration. A living will provides specific guidelines for your end of life care, while your healthcare directive can include provisions for your agent to make certain decisions about your ongoing healthcare. A living will tells your agent how you would like those decisions made, such as if you were to have life support, when do you want that to be removed? That's the type of decisions that's in your living will declaration. Also, whether you would want hydration or special nutrition. For example, what if you're incapacitated and you have a gluten allergy? You need to put in your healthcare directive that you do not want your nutrition to include any foods with gluten. This is life and death decisions that you can have some authority over in your healthcare directive with the right instructions. So this kind of care choices should be made for you in your life, your living will declaration and in your healthcare directive if you cannot make them for yourself. So these types of absolute decisions about your life should be included in a living will for extra protection and assurance that your desires will be known and honored. These documents, if carefully crafted, will help you express and enforce your healthcare wishes, even if you cannot speak for yourself. So if you want to ensure your preferences for your ongoing and end-of-life care are respected, contact us today to discuss your options. As your family business lawyer and advisor who proactively protects your property, we will work with you to help you articulate and legally protect your healthcare desires and wishes and preferences. Specifically, we will guide you to create and complete these very important healthcare documents so that you have peace of mind of knowing your family will make the right choices for you when you cannot. So if you want to learn more about creating an estate plan with a will, a trust, a healthcare directive, please stay connected by signing up for our weekly e-newsletter at thehyndmangroup.com. That's TheHyndman group.com. Thank you, and next week we'll see you, God willing. Have a great one.